thanks a lot. 7:32 now.
A Watchdog group is warning consumers about a potential health risk in some sports bras and athletic wear brands. And when we're saying sports bras and athletic wear, we mean leggings, shorts.
Right.
It's the materials that are being used for the clothes that you work out in. And the Center for Environmental Health says athletic wear brands like Nike, Champion, and Adidas have high levels of the toxic chemical BPA in several clothing items. And that's just a few of the brands. It's linked to serious health effects like asthma and cardiovascular disease. And they say that clothing could expose people up to 40 times the safe limit of the chemical.
Well, let's talk about this. Faran Savitz is here, a zero waste advocate at Penn Environment. Welcome, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
Remind us, we've done BPA stories. What is BPA?
BPA is a type of chemical that we often find in plastic. It's dangerous to human health in unsafe quantities. It's in everything from plastic bottles to the clothing that we wear.
And what's the advantage in using it then in these clothes?
Yeah, why would they put it in?
Well, it's a common additive usually used to just change the properties of the material. A lot of our clothing, when you look at that label, something like polyester, that's a synthetic fabric. It's plastic, and BPA is added to that to make the fabric and the material do what the companies want it to do.
So this toxic chemical would then, if you have it on your body, it would, are they saying it could leach into your skin?
Yeah, so that's what this recent study is saying, that the BPA in these fabrics can leach into your skin when you wear them. But that's not the only pathway. All these fabrics, because they're plastic, over time as you wear them, as you wash them, they're releasing tiny little pieces of plastic fibers into our water, into our air. So we're really breathing in these plastics, we're drinking them, our wildlife are consuming them, and with those plastics comes the BPA and other chemicals.
And when we're saying, because that's lots of different ways to be taking it in,
Yeah.
did we cover enough of the effects that could lead to asthma? Like what else, what other effects could you have from wearing and ingesting BPAs?
Yeah, I mean, in our body, BPAs act like naturally occurring hormones or chemicals. So they alter our body chemistry. They can cause reproductive disorders, birth effects, developmental disorders. They've been linked to certain types of cancer. So there are a lot of different ways they can hurt not just us, but our descendants down the line.
Yeah, of course, and this is over time, right? Someone might be watching this like, really? You mean if I put on my sports bra and go work out, let's say I work out a couple times a week, would that's enough to affect? Would it have to be over years and years? Or is that something you could see, you know, in a short amount of time?
I mean, we're consuming these plastics, especially microplastics, the tiny pieces of plastic from the clothing, from birth pretty much, because they're everywhere. So, I mean, it's hard to say how long it takes for the chemicals to take effect, but it is very quick. It can come just from wearing it a couple times a week, but because there are so many pathways, it's hard to isolate.
Well, these companies know they're doing it, so just stop doing it.
Certainly.
How do you get them to stop doing
Well, why haven't they stopped? If they know, and we know what BPAs do, like Mike said, that's been out.
Yeah, there needs to be stronger regulation.
Is it money? Is that why?
Part of it's money. Plastic is a very cheap material, so it's easy to make a lot of clothing very cheaply from synthetic fabrics. But if we had stronger regulations from the EPA and our other regulatory agencies, they could set stricter health limits for BPAs and other chemicals, and that would mean the companies would have to stop putting it in. We saw that with baby bottles and formula, where the FDA set limits on BPA in those items, and now we don't see BPA in those items.
So we contacted a bunch of these brands. We did hear back from Adidas. They said, we're committed to following the global best practices and complying with the strictest international safety requirements. And then Athletic, how do you say that? Is that
Athleta or
Athleta, athlete? Anyway, that brand said it's committed to ensuring its products meet safety standards, and says it believes that the CEH's claims have no merit. CEH is?
The Center for Environmental Health.
Okay. They say that it has no merit. So apparently they don't believe what they're saying.
I mean, at Penn Environment, we've done a lot of testing of our waterways for microplastic particles, the tiny pieces of plastic that do contain chemicals like BPAs. We found them everywhere we've tested. That includes rivers around Philadelphia like the Schuylkill, the Delaware, includes the Wissahickon. We've tested over 100 of these waterways. We've tested Philadelphia's tap water. we found plastic fibers from clothing everywhere that we've tested. 100% of our samples have microplastics.
Wow.
In our
single-
water? So what
in
if
our
we have
water.
the filter? Does that filter it out, or no, that's not enough?
I've tested water through a Brita filter. I've tested it not through a Brita filter. There's still microplastics.
Wow.
I mean, filters can get some of them, but not all of them, because there's so many entering our waterways. So when we drink water, when we breathe, when we eat our food, it's often coming with tiny pieces of plastic.
Well, I'm just going to go home.
I know, I'm like, should I stop drinking water?
Definitely don't stop drinking water. Plastic bottles, because they're plastic, contain even more microplastics.
I'm told
this
glass,
is
you
not.
should drink out of a glass.
Yeah.
Or buy,
Now,
glass
hold on a
bottle.
second. I buy bottled water every day. Should I? What do you drink out of?
I drink tap water. I use a reusable bottle if I need to go somewhere and bring water with me.
Really?
I avoid plastic bottles because, well, they're single use, so they're going to end up often in a landfill or an incinerator, like the one in Chester, just outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But you're drinking the tap water then, so it's,
I am
mean,
drinking tap
okay.
water, yeah, because
All right.
it's the best option there is, even if it comes with plastic in it.
You're really depressing. Get the heck out of here.
Well, the more
Good
you
to see
know.
you, man.
Yes,
Pleasure.
thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for breaking this
Yeah,
down.
thank you guys for
explaining.
having me.
Thank you for your expertise.